Hi students, welcome to this course, PLC Automation and Introduction to Programmable Large Controllers. I am Professor Yao. Module addressing, the keywords, terminal, field wiring connection, a rack, module addressing, a file type, the terminal number. Before we move on to register basics, this is perhaps a good time to revisit a topic briefly discussed in Chapter 1. PLC input and output modules. Specifically, we want to examine module I/O addressing. You will recall that I/O modules, along with the process module and the power supply, sit in a chassis of physical hardware assembly. The I/O modules are actually placed in an I/O rack. Each I/O module in turn consists of I/O group made up of a set of terminals. The terminals are used for making field wiring connection. In sum, we have a PLC with I/O modules consisting of group of terminals. The location of an input or output terminal within a module group within a rack will determine a device address. Each input and output devices must have an address. As an example of an I/O terminal addressing scheme, let's look at what Allen-Bradley does with its PLC file. The addressing format is shown in Figure 8.1a. The scheme consists of a file level hierarchy starting at the top with a file type and descending to terminal number. Specifically, a file type designates an input or output module, I for input, O for output. A file number specifies which particular I/O module, input or output. A rack number determines which rack of the module sits in. A group is a set of terminals with a rack. Typically, there would be 8 groups in a rack, from 0 to 7. The terminal number is the bit address for a particular terminal, input or output. In Figure 8.1b, we show 2 examples of the addressing format. In example number 1, we have an input module, file type, with a file number 2 in rack 3, group 6, having a terminal bit address of 28. In example number 2, we have an output module, file type, with file number 0 in rack number 4, group number 3, have a terminal bit address of 5. This is the Allen-Bradley addressing format. Holding registers, the keywords, microprocessors, optoisolators, programming use, manipulation, and a visual analysis. A holding or working register. The contents of calculation, arithmetic, or logic. In arithmetic, timer and the counter operation. A holding register or working register holds the contents of a calculation, arithmetic, or logic. Conceptually, it is in the middle of the CPU, as shown in figure 8.2. Because in many PLCs, particularly small ones, the holding register is not directly accessible to inputs or outputs. Input and output register, single or group, interface the holding register contents to the outside world. Single data from a specific input devices is first deposited in the form of 0s and 1s in an output register. It may then be manipulated by the microprocessor and the results sent to a holding register. Before the contents of the holding register can affect the output devices, they are transferred to an output register. The output registers, zeros and ones, drive output interface devices such as opto-isolators. To illustrate holding register use, we can look briefly at their function in arithmetic, timer, and counters operations. In arithmetic operations, a holding register might contain the first operand, another holding register the second operand, and the final holding register the destination of the mathematical manipulation. See figure 8.3. The timer function, the preset timer value, would be placed in a constant or designated register. The holding register is the register in which the count takes place. See figure 8.4a. The counter function is similar. See figure 4.4b. The preset count value is also placed in a constant or designated register. The holding register, of course, is the register in which the count takes place. In small PLC, there may be as few as 16. In large machines, there are hundreds of holding registers, all accessible for programming use, manipulations, and visual analysis. This shows the PLC registers. This shows register in arithmetic operation. This shows holding register in timer and counter. Homework. Handwriting all keywords and submitting them to Coach Facebook. Just do the online quiz and see you next time.